Welcome. This is Crimey Queen. If you're joining us for the first time, this is where we get excited about love. This is where we ignite that which comes from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile. Hence, we say the crimson light is life. So, the crimson light is our journey of actualizing self-full love. On this journey, we are having fun with numbers and words, numerology to be precise. We want to see how we could use all these numbers all around us, that which we are, of course. But of course, since we cannot see ourselves without that great grand mirror that we have been provided, well, why not? Let's examine what we see. And of course, let revelation reveal to us the secret of the numbers, because I believe therein the numbers lies the secret. Of course, we've seen that in the letters. Again, here, there is a secret in this letter, B, because of course I have also seen it as what we call honeybee. Now, we won't be straying from the mirror in what we in what we intend to do here, but just let's look at B. I just really want to show this. I might have done it before, but here we have with 13, because this is revelation and I want revelation to know that I am really paying attention. So there is 1 and there is 3. That's 1 and 3. So we know this as 13, but in actual fact, this is B. So where is that other 2 that is meant to be there? That is why I had no inclination to manipulate or shift the position of these letters here, which I refer to as basket or bucket. All right, let's move on to mirror. Okay, mirror, mirror on the wall. Okay, so yes, talking of mirror, and that we felt it was necessary to be able to know what we are looking for in the mirror. Let's take Satan off that board. Okay, so to have an idea what we are looking for in the mirror, let's see. So there it was when God said to Moses, I am, tell the people, I am that I am. Let's do the numerical value on that so we can get closer to the mirror. Okay, right. So okay, let's have I here. I am that. I think it's Donald Walsh, of course, people from The Secret, and they have found an essence to it and said, I am that I am. This because people are trying to make sense of it. Okay, but in numerology, I don't think we need to bother about the comma. Okay, so we have 9 because and this is 5, 1 and 4 is 5. And we have TH, which is 2. Let's just do the numbers. So this is 10, and 1, 11, and 2 is 12. Sorry, 11 and 2 is 13. That's interesting. That's the 13 we are talking about. Oh my. 10, 11, 12, 13. That's the 13 we have just done. That's the 13 Revelation keeps pointing to. I am that. I am that with emphasis, or sealing that, or forming that cycle of that which is 9 and 5 again. Okay, so let's add this up. That is 14. 9 and 5, 14. 1 and 4 is 5. All right, there we are. Here we are. 9 and 5, 14. Let's create room for this 14 here. Okay. 9 and 5. Let's 5, 14. 14, 1 and 4 is 5. Now we also know, okay, I said 9 and, sorry, it's the same equation here. So we know it's 5 that we get here. So also, what has transpired here, and I love to make reference to this here. It makes me feel good because I am from a family of 14 children. So, so I make reference to this in reminding myself that I must be under this wonderful banner of the generations of David and King David and Jesus um, falling in this equation. So it does make me feel good, and I think somehow there must be a reflection of something at play. Hence, I am doing these presentations. So the other thing we see here is when we add 5 and 5, 5 and 5 is 10. So we see 10 here. Now, we also have this 13 here. And if we added 13, 1 and 3 together, we would have 4. 4 and 1 would be 5. Would be 5. But we are also hearing I am that. Now, this that here is where the secret lies. That here is where that 2 is here, embedded in here, in that 13 is, or is it a 13 or is it B? Or is it a B of 13 that has been unified? It is so unified in its spirit, in its construct, that it becomes the B. Now, I believe the B here has a deeper meaning than we think of, because generally, when we read Genesis in particular, or the whole Bible, but I think I remember very well from the chapter 1 or chapter 2 when God says, behold. But of course, it's spelled Behold, but be. Be has so much in it. This is, it seemed to have been it's like saying, I have come to tell you this, or I am presenting you. It's making that presence felt. It's that be. So, might we have had it wrong that maybe all the names we are calling God, there is still another name, because God is all things, so we can't say that some names are wrong, or like some people do. But could there be another sacred um, utterance, a sacred letter, a sacred. Now, when I see B, there is another thing that I see, because there is a position to this. This is B. Now, of course, we know this is B. So I see B in that way. Of course, maybe this line is a little bit, it's quite high, but we see B in that way. Oh, and of course, we hear that Christ, or in the Old Testament, was always not just behold, there was always something about bee and honey, the honeysuckle, something to suck onto. So, could there be something more transpiring from this? And of course, in that B, we cannot take away the equation of the factor of the 2 that is presented here. Could it be that that 2 that is presented here is the two aspects of that which is formed here? Okay, I am. I am. Then we have the 4, which is 4, which seem more like a symbol, seem more like an essence, seem more like a signature that is embedded in here, because we know that that is not just the bee. We learn from the sacrifice. It represents a union. It represents um, a signing of the contract. It represents that harmony. It represents fellowship. It represents unity. So we know from this column that's what is there in that equation. And so we see whatever is transpiring here in there, we know there is a 4 and there is a 2. But I'm also believing that there is more which I need to express or explore, because in going back to John chapter 13, there again, 13 and 29, where he speaks of Judas, and Satan had entered Judas, enter Judas. So into him. The word into was key. Satan entered into. So that was saying there was an agreement was happening. When he broke bread, Satan went into him. That was saying when he broke bread, he was seeing things from the I am, that the I am. The agreement was here. That was there. That was untouchable, because that was ingested. That was signed. That was bowed, that was humble, that was in reverence. This is something that, like, the spirit could not get me to interfere with her, because it's already sealed. There was a sealed agreement here. And so the I am is here. I am this 5. So 5 and 5 is 10, which is still the sacrifice. It still is the mirror. So here we see on one side, here is myself, and there is the other side, the mirror. I am in the mirror, or I am looking in the mirror of God, or who created me. I can see myself in God, because I am. We use the word I am. We have not been given some other substitute for this. And when we say I, we are again making reference to that 9, which is the sacrifice. It's only that we have not become conscious, and that is why, because we are not conscious of the sacrificial factor that it requires us to let go of ego and to honor that position of 5 in the middle, that's where we get stuck. And hence, we see that the mirror is on this side. We have the 6-9. This 6-9 here, 6-9 in this position, is giving us a direct correspondence with what takes place there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, 6 numbers, and 6 letters. Of course, 6 letters, 6 numbers would also correspond with, we could say, the 12 disciples. The 12 we know, 1 and 2 is 3, and 3 is also reflective in what we have been doing, these three blocks. Okay, so this is the mirror. Now we see, of course, the full hair and this two digits, which end up very nicely here on this side, because four from four hair is because we have six, or let's go this way, six letters. So we go from here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I must say I hadn't done this before. I'm just doing this intuitively. And perhaps because I have gone through the journey, I am able to just confidently go with the flow. The mirror is from 4 to 9. This is where the mirror takes us from the stage of development. This is where we begin to be conscious of that cross. Sometimes we are not, it takes us a while to become conscious of it. This is why we go through that developmental stage till we derive at a new way of seeing things, a new thought. And this is where we become the Christ. We see the Christ spirit within us. Our third eye becomes open, where our insight becomes a light. The crimson light becomes ignited. We are glowing. We are ready. We are firing on all the cylinders. And for here, we go through that fox um, journey. Well, the fox is really getting ready to go on his journey. He's looking around where he eats. He's on this, he's wanting to be safe. He's still looking out whether he's been threatened or not, whether he feels threatened. Because, yes, when you are with the new, you look to those things. You don't just, even if you're excited, but you have those other aspects because the old way is still niggling or being presented, and particularly when you get to that fox, because that element of X here is still the same element that is here. So this X we had for fox, FOX, although it is 6, but it also is that 4 and that 10 takes place in here as well. So the 4 and the same 10 that takes place here. So there we have the mirror. The mirror is happening here again. It's as if we had an introduction of how we are looking. Of course, when we are younger, when we are full of ourselves and looking, but as we get older, we are looking through, although it's the same mirror, but we are looking with different eyes from different standpoint. So hence that word as well, because it's a wonderful word Spirit gave me, and it is, and I hope I'm pronouncing it well, but it's exnial, Nial. So this is what is necessary for us to understand once we are in that perspective. So the pride and all of those things that we had, we get to learn how to communicate with the mirror aspect of ourselves with other individuals, meaning whether they were foreign, because of course for us to touch our head, so to speak, the north, we think it is easier for us to go up north, but then when we're ready to go down south, it requires us to be humble, it requires us to bend our knees, and that's where that word exnial comes into play. In fact, I want to quickly do a numerical value on this, which is 5, and it starts with 5, which goes very nicely in that new. So 5, 6, 5, 9, 1, 3. Beautiful. So we have 5 and 5, 10, 10 and 15, 25, and 4 is 29. 25 and 4 is 29. So this is where we have that 2 showing up again, 1 and 1, 2. This is what that relationship is transpiring here again. That union. This is where there is, that is what qualifies us to be that first step as master, or get our mastership, where Jesus was, the word Jesus equals 11. And this is the journey for recognizing that we are masters of our ship. But we must learn how to look in the mirror. Mm, 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 mm. I am thanking you for watching and joining us and engaging. Please feel free to leave your comments. And if you like this presentation, remember to click the like button. And in the meantime, spill over with love, because that's what we're about. Yes, stay blessed, stay bright, and stay ignited. Namaste.